Hi, this is analysis of Nick 4 here, and for this video, I'm just reviewing the Destroy All Humans 2 remake. So this came out last month, and it's a remake of one of my favorite games of all time. This is in my top 5 games of all time. Now, I will rank these separately, like in future videos, because they're kind of different games. But for the most part, this one does follow like the story in this and the overall missions in this. Like, share, subscribe, and continue to comment down below. And this video will have gameplay in it. So Destroy All Humans 2 remake. Now quickly, what I like about the pros, quickly, like there's lots to do, like in terms of lots of content, like in the world, main content, side content, and mission a variety as well. Like the main mission variety goes from, because you have so many different abilities. There's defend this person or attack this building, blow up this building, and you're like an alien with all these different abilities. And like there's some where you have to do stealth missions, sabotage this, or blow this up, or mind control this person, and yeah. Now with the overall mind control abilities that you get, so abilities too. This is another pro. The abilities that you get, you got a mind control ability, mind scan ability. You can read minds, telekinesis. You're like a very OP. Like you feel very OP, and with the telekinesis, you can literally just push humans away that are shooting at you. And yeah. Now, overall, like more on abilities too. You also have a jetpack. So you have a jetpack. You have a time freeze ability, which is very good. And with all these abilities too, they add to the mission variety. Because another pro, optional missions, no optional objectives. So basically, what these are is that every mission will have like a certain optional objective, like I use this weapon like at how many different targets, or use this ability, or do not use this ability throughout the entire mission. And you can always go back if you miss an optional objective and try to get it again. This allows for more replayability, and it really allows for you to use the different weapons and abilities in different ways. So just okay, like another pro is the weapons you get. So lots of weapons. The Zap-O-Matic, so you can zap people, electrocute people. The disintegrate, I can't say it, the fire gun or whatever. There's the meteor gun. There's the grenade launcher, ion detonator. There's a turret mode. So yeah, with these different weapons, they're all very unique, and they offer different gameplay styles. Now, with the upgrade, so you get to upgrade, the weapon capacity, ammo, efficiency, effectiveness, and overall, a crowd control. Some weapons are very offer like a crowd control, so they're very good for taking out many enemies at once. Destroy All Humans 2 remake. Another thing. Now this is gonna be like a con. I would say that the weapons feel more nerfed compared to the original. The original did have better control. The weapons felt more impactful, like in the original. Now here, not as much. Certain weapons, like for example, the what's a good example? The dislocator or whatever. It's hard to use, and it's not as effective as it was in the original. Now, a Zap-O-Matic, that's pretty equal. The fire gun is pretty equal. The meteor gun, although you do get more meteors per ammo. Now, overall immersion. Now, this is another pro of this. The immersion and the open world. You go from 5 different maps, and you're like an alien, so you're like kind of like an outsider, but you can shape shift into people, right? You can read minds and all that. So you go from San Francisco to London, England to Tokyo to Russia, and then to the moon. And then every map has like a different feel to it. Some maps are brighter, other maps are more foggy and type of less saturation. And then like when you go like into space, it's so cool. Like the whole sky is black, so it's darker, but it's like illumination like underground. So there's lots of lights underground. And yeah, so yeah, every map is different, and there's different cultural lore. So it's in the 1960s, and during the Cold War between Russia and US, right? And basically, when you go to like each map, every culture or You get to kind of read their mind, so you can kind of get insight, of what they fear, what their motives are, and what they I think about the government or whatever. And yeah, so it's very good. And as well, everybody runs away from you. That's another thing with immersion. Everybody runs away from you, like when they see you, unless you mind control them or you do like a time freeze ability, or unless you progress further, like in certain cults and certain subcultures that will accept you and the word of the alien god or whatever. So yeah, you have the worlds, and every world has different missions. No, okay, at the pros, no, the Destroy Lumens 2 holds faithful like to the mission. So all the missions that were in this are in this. You just get extra optional objectives, so it allows for more replayability in this. And obviously, like in the missions, the characters are gonna look different in the remake. The characters look different. They talk, but for the most part, the voice acting from the original is in this, so the dialogue is the same. So the mission, like I said before, you're defending targets, you're attacking areas, you're stealthing through areas via body snatch ability or a shape shifting, and using mind control like on certain targets, taking out certain targets and all that. So, and many more. There's lots more as well. There's even one where you can spread, a mind control. So it's like spreading the word of your god to the people. So through a mind control, like if you're a saucer, your spaceship, you can actually do that. And the story, like it's at the alien, it's kind of weird. The alien falls in love like with this one human, this one a sexy Russian girl, right? Russian spy, and from there, there's different challenges they go across, and who can you trust? Can you really trust this person? And can they trust you? Like you're an alien. So it's lots of very interesting dialogue, and there's tons of lots of great dialogue in the game. So you have that as well, the prose story, dialogue, immersion. No, a little con is there are glitches like in the game. So I uploaded one where my alien was invisible, talking to somebody, talking to one of the ninjas. There are like other glitches too where you cannot progress through a certain mission because something's froze. So targets will freeze, and some certain targets won't die, and there'll be certain things where the game will just freeze entirely. So like I hope with future patches that they do fix this. So glitches and crashes, and it's kind of weird. Like I rarely run into glitches for newer games. Rarely, but for this game, it had a lot of glitches. Another thing too, now the interactables. So when you use some of the interactables, they are easier to use now. Telekinesis is easier to use in the remake. Mind control is easier to use. Like instead of pressing two buttons, you can just hold one button. The jetpacking, obviously. Starting out, the jetpack is a lot more upgraded now, so you can move further, like with the jetpack early on. And like as well too, like there are certain things that are harder to use. For example, the saucer's abductor beam is harder to use now in the remake. It's harder to track things. The overall, you can literally convert vehicles, and then these vehicles are they're transferred into the saucer itself. So certain things like that's just harder to use. Now I'm more in the overall game. I just feel so fun. It feels so fun. It's very refreshing. Now I haven't really there's not a whole lot of PS5 games that did interest me before this month. But seeing this game now, really seeing this game, now I'm really into the PS5. With this game, Ratchet and Clank Returnal, and with the newest God of War game coming out, and as well Horizon Forbidden West earlier this year, I can't wait to get more PS5 games. So it really makes me love the PS5 and play the PS5. And this is only a PS5 game. It's only on PS5 and the newer systems, Xbox, whatever it's called, Series X. So you can only get it on that. Now, more overall, on like I said before, replayability because it's optional objectives. You can replay every mission over again, anytime, and you can start a new game anytime. There is no multiplayer. There is co-op, so it is a split screen co-op, which is rare nowadays. You don't see that. It was very common back in the PS2 era, right? But like there is co-op and replayability. Again, in the optional objectives, you can go back to any mission or side mission, and then you can try to go for a certain optional objectives. Now, the upgrade system. I'm going to talk about progression on upgrade system. With the progression, like the progression is the more missions you do, the more Furon cells you get. So the Furon cells you use for upgrades, upgrading the weapons, the abilities. As well, you also have human DNA, so you can abduct human DNA, and from different cultures and nationalities. So American DNA, British DNA, Japanese. So using your saucer, you gotta use this, and the more DNA, well, the specific DNA, the more specific DNA you get, the better your abilities get over time. So mind freeze ability, or body snatching, or shape shifting ability is easier. Or telekinesis, you can now lift cars like with your mind. So yeah, and so you have to really use this abductor ability to gather DNA for that type of upgrade. But the most important, no, the most important upgrades are the overall weapons. So upgrading the weapons are gonna be they feel nerfed in this one, so it's very important. Like certain weapons, like the fire gun, it's the best weapon in the game. The what do you call it again? The turret gun that's probably the second best weapon. And like I said before, some weapons are nerfed compared to the original. So yeah, so it's very important you do as many missions as you can to get the Furon cells for upgrades. And you have to go to the saucer. You have to be at the saucer for upgrades. So yeah, so quickly again, pros: the immersion, the open world. Another pro is the weapon selection, the mission variety, the optional objective, replayability, and the graphics as well. It's probably the best looking game I've ever seen, because it really, aside from Horizon and Forbidden West and probably Red Dead 2, it looks shiny. The map is very shiny and it captures the lighting. PS5 masters the lighting, so it looks so bright. Destroy All Humans 2 remake as well. You also have the water looks so real, the grass looks so real, and the smoke, the fog looks very real. The dark skies look real as well. So went over pros, cons, glitches. Some weapons are nerfed and harder to use the abductor beam now. Yeah, so overall, Destroy All Humans 2 remake, like 8 out of 10, but it's probably my second favorite PS5 game so far. I want to do a video where I show the PS5 collection. So, Destroy All Humans 2 remake review, and like, share, subscribe. This is a very recent game too, remember. Thanks for watching.